the stream title, but I can't remember. Have we changed the stream title anywhere? Cesar, your Dead Space might have been the last stream, or one of us on 360.
I think it was your Modern Warfare one.
Was it Modern Warfare stream? Let's see what we got.
What the fuck? Lover Watch?
Was that for Valentine's Day? Oh, wow. Twitch's favorite streamer is actually playing Hogwarts Legacy. She's not just in a hot tub. Oh, she might be in a hot tub. Hell yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Video Game Donkey just put out a video today about that, where he starts off playing Hogwarts Legacy, and then he quickly switches. He's like, "I'm sorry, guys, I didn't know about the controversy with this game. Instead, we're gonna play this new Rick and Morty game."
Everything's fine.
And then he switches from that to something else, and he's like, he keeps switching from game to game to game and game. Just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know about this in that game, guys."
Here's a wholesome 2600 game called Custer's Revenge.
he winds up at Gex. It's like, "It's Gex, guys. It's a classic game. There's nothing wrong with this game." And then he starts playing the game where it's like Gex going, "Oh, you get an egg roll with this level," and like all this like stereotypical Chinese stuff, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. We're just gonna play."
We thought Gex was safe. We can't go into the Gex. The Gex verse. Cesar thought my Death Adderverse contestant was in here, but this is a Corsair mouse in here. Brand, are you going to join the Death Adderverse with us?
The what?
The Death Adderverse. Cesar got a Halo Death Adder mouse, and he sent me a picture of the box. He's like, "You want the box before I throw it away?"
Oh, gosh.
I was like, "I think I have one, but I don't think it's the Master Chief one." He said it's something else in the Death Adderverse.
This is absolutely correct.
Let me see if this works. I might just say fuck it.
Should work.
Count has been locked. Please try again in 10 minutes. I will literally try at 8:35. We got to get this show on the road, though. Think of titles. Think of titles.
What now? Before the show started?
Just a reminder to think of titles. Famous titles. All right, I'll try 8:36. I don't know why it's giving me this. It's bullshit.
You know why? Put in the wrong fucking password.
Multiple times. As quickly as possible. Look like a brute force attack.
Yeah, they thought you were doing social
yeah.
phishing.
Yes, I'm sure that's what it looked like.
Yeah, they get it out.
Pen test. Pen test on our password.
This guy fucking shit up. Get him down. Shut him down.
Yep. For their safety.
Anybody in the EU watching? Here you go. Here's your free code.
Oh shit. Brent's sending out codes.
You got no codes.
Gotta replay it. Gotta replay the whole episode from the beginning to get that.
Was that the PS4, PS5 version?
PS5. Finally came in today.
Where'd you order that one from?
Play Asia.
Is that the one they were ransoming for so long?
Yeah. The problem was I pre-ordered it with this.
They waited to ship.
They always do.
That looks good.
Oh, this little guy's
like
pretty
those
damn
good
cool.
small figures.
He's like the only one and only Nindroid figures I'm probably gonna buy. But he looks so damn good.
There's only one I own, and it's Gargura, and that's the only one I'll ever buy.
Won't buy the mousy one?
Nah, Gargura's enough.
That works for the format of those toys they do. Some of that shit just looks weird. Cash grabby.
Cool. I mean, it's a figure, so that's what they pretty much are for.
Cash grab.
It's the whole purpose. Let it be. Shit.
Did you have something else, Brant? I heard you say something, but it was like away from the mic.
I'm sending you the picture. Summoning the roster for PlayStation All Stars 2.
We won our Metroid Prime campaign. What's the next target?
Oh, shit.
And somehow fucking batting Kaitos. How did that happen? All right, you guys ready to go?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, boy. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 245 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. This week, new Atari collection is how much? Question mark. They must look at the sales figures in that Atari 50th collection. Mixed reality Hot Wheels game announced. Let's find out later.
Leading the way.
What's that?
Leading the way.
Leading the way. That might work. If I had to review the episode, that probably would have worked for a title. We could have done that. And got the copyright and put up the cease and desist from... Is it Hasbro still?
That or Mattel.
Mattel? Yeah, it's Mattel.
Mattel. I think it's Mattel.
Mid-February Game Pass games. And there was a little Nintendo Direct. Brant put big.
Yeah.
I think it was small in impact and scale.
Inconsequential.
Inconsequential. No impact was made here. It was a great Direct. We will have your summary and our thoughts. I guess that'll segue into games played. We'll have our thoughts on some of the stuff we messed around with from it. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee. And your resident lore master and page master, Cesar Concepcion II.
Hello.
Welcome, gentlemen. I always welcome you guys. I never say, like, thank you at the end of it. I hear that on podcasts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hear that on podcasts where they thank the other co-hosts. You guys want to be thanked for your time and stuff? It's implied. It's known.
Yeah, nobody's keeping track.
Oh, speaking of which, dues are coming up, so that's the... Nothing...
Oh, they said...
Thank you. I'm out. I'll see you.
They said Doogie Howser.
Demote me to listener.
They said Doogie Howser. I was like, oh, shit, I'll watch that show.
Brant's get promoted to listener before before dues come up. All of a sudden, we find ourselves searching for a new newsmaster.
The hell is this thing? Sorry, I have a questionable ad.
Oh, all ads are questionable. Brant, if you're not questioning the ads by clicking on the link, what are you doing with yourself?
Oh.
All right, let's dive into this Atari collection. What do you get, and what is it? Atari is selling a 50th anniversary box set of 10 Atari 2600 games for $1,000. If I did my math correctly, that is $100 per title. Famous titles.
Mm-hmm.
The set features 10 classic Atari titles in special light-up cartridges. This comes from Chris Sculion at VideoGamesChronicle.com. The collection, released as part of the ongoing Atari 50 celebrations, contains 10 physical Atari 2600 games, each in new packaging. The games were sold individually in recent months for $99.99, and all 10 have since sold out. This $1,000 box set is the last chance Atari collectors will have to buy them before likely having to spend even more on them in the resale market. I was looking at it, and I was like, there's no way these games are not expensive. But they're talking about specifically this collection.
Yeah.
However, Atari's limiting the set to just 100 units. Your $1,000 gets you brand new copies of Adventure, Missile Command, Warlords, Super Breakout, Crystal Castles, Haunted House, Yar's Revenge, Centipede, Asteroids, and Gravatar. Each individual game contains new artwork, a hard enamel collectible pin, a collectible patch, and a custom acrylic cartridge stand. Each cartridge will play on original 2600 hardware and has been designed to light up while the console is turned on. That does not sound like a safe thing to do on a 50-year-old console.
My God, Richard, all that stuff.
Oh, gosh.
Walk me from the edge, Richard. I got it in my cart right now. Walk me from the edge.
Sir, I don't know if you want to put a light up thing in your 45-year-old game console. It wasn't designed to power a cartridge lights on it.
I'm gonna do small monthly payments for the next 100 years. Let's go.
They're not RGB, I'm sure, so
Small monthly
not worth
payments. With the Pay Now, you're just waiting for the Apple Pay Now to come up.
My collection will outlive me.
So will the lights. Atari fans who may
Also
not be keen to spend $1,000 on 10 cartridges may instead be better catered for the Atari with Atari 50, which released last November. It contains 100 games. What is that with my quick math? 50 cents per game?
Yeah, that seems right.
Not bad.
something like that. It's
Well, you
pretty
can get
close.
it on sale for like $30, so it's even better. It's like 33 cents per title. From early arcade titles to 2600, 5200, 7800, Atari Lynx, and of course the Atari Jaguar. And Digital Eclipse's whole interactive museum, awesome, kick-ass presentation thing. Chris Goulion also says fans may also prefer the Lego Atari 2600, which is a full-size Lego replica of Atari's original console and cost $199.99.
Ooh, keep talking.
You're more inclined for that, Cesar?
I'm more inclined to something that's affordable that I can probably not play.
Yeah. I'm looking at my Nintendo one. I got it 2 Christmases ago, and I have yet to put that together. That's when we got the Lego Mario, like that whole set. That's what kicked that off, is getting that too. So we've definitely invested some money in the Lego Mario line. Next up, Mario Kart news. Wait, what?
Well, kind of.
Oh,
You and your
yes!
family have enjoyed the Mario Kart.
Okay,
home circuit,
okay.
right?
I didn't know that's who was doing this.
Well, what if the same company had Hot Wheels stuff that you could do the same thing with?
This is dope. I was telling you guys about this. This is really cool.
Yeah, releasing on March 14th for PS4, PS5, and iOS devices, the game sees players controlling an RC car, digitally transformed into over 140 Hot Wheels vehicles as it races across the user's created track.
Now the real question is the studio going to do an exclusive one for Xbox, and is it going to be Halo and Warhogs? Is they're just going to do one per console?
Go on. It'll be Spawn. The Xbox always gets Spawn. And Heihachi for PS2. Holy shit. I didn't know it was this studio.
This is priced at $129.99. Already available for pre-order for the standard edition of Hot Wheels Rift Rally. Includes the RC car, 4 high-tech mixed reality gates to build your tracks, and a charging cable, of course.
I'm watching this video.
There's a $150. Yeah, the video is
This
pretty,
is that Mario
pretty
Kart
neat, too.
game. Cesar, did you ever see this when the kids were doing it?
Maybe like
We ended up with 2 of these because it was so freaking cool.
There is a $150 collector's edition. It also comes with a special edition RC car, limited edition die-cast McLaren Hot Wheels car, and McLaren Sienna unlockable car.
I see what they're doing here. So the car looks the same on all these, just like you either get Mario or Luigi with the Mario Kart one. So in game, it looks like a different racer. That kind of takes the appeal out of it, right? Is that how y'all are looking at it? Like it's the exact same car?
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't matter. Because you're gonna choose whatever car you want to see while you're racing. Because it says there's 140 cars that you can choose.
The game sees players controlling.
But technically, you take out this.
Yeah, controlling an RC car which can digitally transform into over 140 Hot Wheels vehicles. They could have sold these things like crazy, but the carts are pretty large. If it's like the Mario Kart one, it's pretty large. It's got a lot of tech in it. It's got that camera facing upwards, and the camera looks amazing on the Switch screen.
I mean, they could have sold decals or interchangeable shells.
I'm sure it's
or
coming.
something.
I'm sure that's coming. Hot Wheels is back, baby.
But other than that, it functionally looks like the Mario Kart home circuit thing. So
Highly recommend. I wonder if it'll have
Look
the.
forward to purchasing it for $60.
What's that?
Look forward to purchasing it for $60.
Yes, it needs a price drop. 130 is like, I don't know about that.
yeah,
I do not know about that. All right, I'm signing into stuff. Brant, if you can take that next one too.
you're good. You're good.
What is there a launch date on that? PS4
Soon, right? Soon.
Yeah, March
March
14th, less than a month.
Yeah.
PS4, PS5, and
Almost
iOS.
Almost Ides of March.
Is that how you're gonna celebrate?
All right. Celebrate the Ides of March with
That and
Hot Wheels leading
maybe
the
they'll
way.
have like a Bruno and Caesar car too. So
A2 Hot Wheels.
Oof. Get stabbed in the back like a blue shell.
is it still too soon?
I think so. For Caesar, it is.
Damn, it's like thousands of years. What
I
the
think
fuck?
Caesar would agree.
Like what their blood relatives looking like. This motherfucker's here. How dare you?
Yeah.
That is an interesting thing to bring up because like not the Caesar thing.
I thought the
but
Caesar
fact
thing-
Following you
that,
to that.
I thought that was a
Yeah.
great thing to bring up.
Yeah.
But you talked about, the blue shells and everything. Are there going to be power-ups and things in the Hot Wheels version as well?
Because it's hard to. We loved that last Hot Wheels game, but it was built off of that drift mechanic and like getting a boost. I don't know how you know how you translate that mechanic. If it sticks to the same, the graphics looked like that game where you had the smoke coming out and all that out of the. So I don't know how you translate that to that movement of that RC car, because you still have to have a connect between what the screen is telling you is happening digitally and what you physically see your car racing around in the living room doing. Curious how that'll work. And we'll get the
right.
Caesar's family's quotes on the next episode and see if they're okay with the use of this license.
It'll be on the. Yeah, they'll be on like yeah. I'm trying to come up with something.
We've
but-
reached them.
Broke
We've
there
reached them
a
for
second.
comment. They're making the late night show circuit. Telling
soon.
people not to play the not to play the new Hot Wheels mixed reality game. I like seeing more mixed reality stuff though. I think that's the way things are going. It is not isolating like VR can be.
Like VR.
And then you're not stuck with a whole. AR seems to have a lot of compute stuff behind it with the HoloLens and things like that. And you still need something like driving it. This is something that goes on the fly and works with the Switch. So I wonder how it's going to work with the home consoles. Because the Switch,
Very careful.
yeah, the Switch is great because you're like above. We could kind of have like a landing, like a stair landing in our house, and you can sit there with it and look down over the course. Which you don't actually have to see the course, but you have to be close to it for it to read back and forth. I wonder how those are going to work. The mobile one sounds like that wouldn't be a bad
That's
one to get.
interesting.
That way it works on whatever platform you get in the future. Or the Switch one. And hopefully they support you can go on the Nintendo site and get those cardboard the turn left and turn
Gates.
right. Yeah, they're cardboard gates. You can get all those online super inexpensively. They recommend those.
You sure they're not just gonna create a Labo version of them and just throw all that shit in there? Like, oh, we have all this extra Labo shit.
They might. They have a way of reusing that cardboard, don't they? We haven't got any Labo stuff in a long time, have we?
No, they quickly pushed a bunch of that out and then just kind of
Is Labo no
abandoned
more?
it.
They locked Miyamoto back in the closet and was like, come up with something else. That one didn't hit.
No, he's too busy on that movie right now.
Yeah. With Chris on of Illumination Studios. It's like every trailer. Oh, we got a Super Bowl commercial for that and a website. That was cool.
Oh my gosh.
We're all going to go. We all got to take up like a whole row or a whole section in the theater and just a whole bunch of people go and have a good time with it. That'll be cool. Our first community meetup. I can't wait to see both of you guys there.
I'll bring my tablet so I can log in Twitch also.
Yes. Oh, I'll get our numbers up because there's only 2 people watching right now. It's not looking good.
I mean, if we legally stream Mario Brothers, we'll get a whole bunch of people.
We would. Is that how we go out? Is that how we
Yeah.
get the NOFODcast
That's
brand
how
banned?
we get our ban. Yeah, we'll be banned for
Ban.
life.
So we'd have to create just a new
Not no podcast.
a new Twitch account, like It used to be Justin TV. We'll just put Justin Movies.
Justin Movies. Justin.movies. No one's done this yet. Justin.
It's never been done before.
Justin.sports. We made a Cesar, we can use that. Me and Cesar and Russell years ago made a Gmail address to watch a fight. We wanted to get a fight for free. We didn't want to pay, was it like $200 to watch that one? Floyd Mayweather and somebody. We made like a Mayweather fights at gmail.com or something like that.
It was McGregor, right?
I think it was McGregor.
Yeah, I like the first one, right?
And I don't think it worked. It didn't let us in. We ended up watching somebody on Twitch.
we were in the Xbox Edge browser surfing, jumping between Twitch channels as they were getting taken down.
We were. They would get taken down.
Yeah.
We would jump to a new one. That's in the time we were testing the Sea of Thieves alpha test and all that stuff. When we officially played so much Sea of Thieves unofficially before it was out, we burned out on it. Renee's here. Welcome, Renee. Renee, where are you?
But let's see. Next up, we actually have a bunch of games that are coming to Game Pass. I think a couple of these are actually already out.
Fucking liar.
What, Madden 23?
We have Madden 23 for console and PC. That's available now. SD Gundam Battle Alliance cloud console and PC.
Cesar, did you ever play Madden? I know all the reviews we were trying to do the Madden hype to each other.
Every time I get to the arcade mode, I always want to do it, but every time it's out for free, I never fucking do it. And I don't know, man. I always pop in Madden 92 on the Genesis and just keep playing that one.
With a roster update?
With the Hail Mary that always works, no matter what. It was undefendable Hail Mary.
Undefendable Hail Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's undefendable. It would always work.
I keep seeing one of these Twitter shorts that's like, the Madden 04 training ground soundtrack had no reason to go as hard as it did. And it's like Outcast and all kinds of stuff in the training build. Remember when they used to do EA tracks on everything?
Yeah. I would buy Madden 04 for some
I'm kind of interested in that's a way to go down on stream too, is start streaming licensed music. But EA tracks used to do for our newer, or I guess our younger audience, or maybe our super older audience, but they would license tracks for their sports games and like EA big titles and SSX and things like that. And then you would be able to play those from the menu. Like you could select them and you could play the song straight off of that EA tracks part of the options menu. And it was always a diverse group of stuff. So they put a lot into that. I wonder whose initiative it was at EA at the time. It's like, let's do EA tracks. We're going to license some cool shit in here. They did a good job. All right. Cut off Brant's spiel. SD Gundam Battle Alliance. What is that?
Yes. You use SD cards. Let's go.
Micro or high capacity or what?
No, OG one. Like, you gotta go dig out an old compact flash reader. Plug it in there.
Another one for our younger audience.
What the fuck's a compact flash? It's like the floppy of the SD cards.
2 megabytes.
What's a floppy?
The save icon.
We have Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord cloud console and PC out February 14th.
Sounds like friend of the show, Russell's type of game.
City Skylines
so does
remastered.
City Skylines.
Cloud console or just cloud and series systems.
This one,
February 15th.
That's when we get a free upgrade, right? Because I actually have a copy.
It says remastered. Yeah. It's not that old.
It's already remastered.
Is it that old?
Yeah, it's a PS4 game. PS4 game, yeah.
Who knows? Re-release. It's on Game Pass. Try it now.
Remastered. Let's go.
Design, build, and manage the city of your dreams, from public services to civic policies, and challenge yourself to grow from a simple town to a bustling metropolitan hub. This was Caesar's dream. We've already discussed what happened to Caesar. Don't do this. Don't play City Skylines.
I'm doing it like him. I'm raising taxes, man. I'm getting everybody out.
Sewers like flowing. Didn't they build like it wasn't the aqueduct, that was for freshwater, but they built like the troughs where the sewer just like went through the city.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it in this game.
Take a shit in a trough in a right on the side of the road.
Trough
that
for
doesn't
everyone.
sound bad.
It's gonna be my campaign. Yeah.
Trough for everyone.
You have to worry. You don't have to worry about toilet paper and doors, seats.
They didn't wipe? You don't think they wiped in the trough? They had a bidet?
Oh, absolutely not. You just go and just leave.
You scoop the water that's going downhill and splash it on the backside?
No. You just let it.
No, you
let
just
it dry up, man.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
squat
just let it
and
dry out.
just walk away.
Make a sculpture.
If there's a bush nearby, you
See,
grab a
Brutus
leaf.
Brutus got tired of all this, and that's why he ended up going off.
Yeah, they got tired of that shit.
Literally.
Oh,
Look forward to
God,
City
Renee.
Skylines. It will not be as
Renee,
fun as
you
we
are in
just described.
Renee, you're in a state that has our sponsor,
Oh,
Hard Mountain
oh
Dew.
my
Fucking
God,
buy some.
Renee. Renee, bring back some Hard Mountain Dews.
You're on our sponsor, Hard Mountain Dew State. Buy it, man.
This segment is brought to you by...
Hashtag Hard Mountain Dew.
Let's see. What else do we have? We have Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition, Cloud Console and PC, February 16th.
Are those good? I have zero Shadow Warrior knowledge at all.
I
beat
Same.
1, I beat 3, I skipped 2, and they progressively get less races as they go on. So
You skipped 2. Is it like the Super Mario Brothers 2 or the
I don't
Devil
know,
May
I
Cry
just
2 of the
never-
series?
I never got around to playing it, and I played 3 because it was on that PS Now thing. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you can play it for 30 days.
When
and
you were
I-
just
I
firing
actually
stuff
played it
up.
on there.
Yeah.
But they leaned heavily in Asian American jokes in the first one, like bad stereotypes.
That's not good.
So
Like Gex.
yeah, almost that bad. And they cleaned it up after the third one. It's more politically correct now. So
Good.
Much better.
We have Atomic Heart for Cloud Console and PC.
That looks like a
February 22nd.
that looks like a
That's
Cesar
a
game.
Day and
I was
date
about to say.
release. That looks like a Bioshock.
played the fuck out of some
I think
Bioshock.
It looks pretty damn good.
It looks great. Some of the previews I was watching, they said that the first part is actually pretty tough. Like just getting upgraded and killing the first couple enemies, and then you're okay after that.
Let's see. I'm going to skip all the rest of the perks and stuff and just go to what is leaving February 15th. So, as of this recording, you have like a couple days to do these. Besiege, that's the game preview, Cloud Console and PC. Crossfire X is officially dying and leaving Game Pass.
That's what I was laughing
well.
at. We've talked more about Crossfire X the past like 2 weeks than it ever was when it was alive, or when they were showing it off at the shows.
Infernax, that's a great old school Castlevania style game. I recommend that highly.
I know you're digging that one.
Recompile, Cloud Console and PC.
What was Recompile? That sounds...
The program you use to compile code like C#.
I know that. Did one of y'all play
Son of a
this?
bitch. It sounds familiar. I can't put my finger on it though. You just have to look that up.
In the next 2 days.
Skull the Hero Slayer, Cloud Console and PC, and The Last Kids on Earth, Cloud Console and PC.
Not Kids in America.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Whoa.
Whoa.
That's gonna get our strike. Copyright strike on NOFODcast. No, we didn't do yours. That wasn't the same title. It's Last Kids on Earth.
Mhm.
See,
And it's ooh ah.
theirs goes.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, theirs goes do 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 do. Mine goes do
Now,
do.
Oh man, what a character.
Okay, so on this article, just skip the first 3 stories and we'll come back up to those.
I was looking to see if it was backwards.
No, I went through several different articles to try and find something decent, and there was one that had them in the correct order, and they just
Are they ever in the correct order, man? Come on,
It
dude.
never is. I don't understand
Well,
unless we live blog it or something.
They there was one that had it in the correct order, but they would put like a sentence underneath, and I'm like, that doesn't help. And shout out to Nintendo Life, who did the least amount of work possible and said, here's every announcement from the Nintendo Direct, and just linked every single YouTube video of all of the announcements.
Hell yeah. That's what I would do in college when it's like my 3rd year and I'm ready to get out.
They're driving their
Yeah,
engagement.
here we go. Here's the article. Here's just
I don't even need a bibliography.
There you
I have
go.
to cite my works. My works are already cited in this document I'm sending you.
Cite this paper.
Yeah. Cite YouTube. YouTube.com.
Professor Caesar.
The
You
Julius Caesar
you
episode.
Dictator.
I'll take famous Caesars for 400.
I don't know. I
You
think
got salads.
the only difference is
You got
I
sections.
watched the Japanese one and then I had it went different places. So
You'll have to give us a couple highlights from that one if there's anything that was drastically different.
they didn't show any of the Disney stuff. They went into a deep
Interesting.
thing for the Mickey Mouse. They showed that Square Enix paranormal game.
Yeah.
And
Are we getting that? What is the name of that one?
We are.
We
Yeah,
are?
Yeah, paranormal or something like that. I think it is. We're getting it. And I think that was it. They just showed everything out of order. So
Yeah.
Our direct opened with Pikmin 4.
Much
got
to
a
the
new
delight of friend of the show, Russell.
We got a new.
me and Richard were looking at the list where it said it was going to get the announcement. It was going to get canceled. So.
All the sneak peek scripts of the Nintendo Directs. Pikmin
Yeah.
4 announcement - cancellation. So I'm starting to watch the show. I'm like, I think it's Pikmin. And Cesar texts me. He's like, there it is, canceled. So I send back, all right, we want to show you how far we got with the game. This is what it looked like. It's canceled. Not canceled and coming out July 21st.
July 21st, they showed off like a new freezing Pikmin,
And the puppy thing you can ride.
and the dog puppy thing.
And the day-night cycle. I thought that was pretty cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
I watched it with Russell. He was here with me, and I looked over because he's the resident Pikmin expert. And I was like, because his eyes lit up a little bit. I was like, have they had a day-night cycle? Like, that seems like a natural thing with all the flowers and the sun and the plants and things like that. I thought that would like be assumed almost. He's like, no, they never done that before. So, but he's only played. He's a resident Pikmin expert. I think he's only played the third one. He's yet to get his hands on it. We played a little bit of the GameCube one, but he loved that third one so much he bought it for me one year because he loves the co-op element in it a lot. What was next, young Brant?
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We're getting into more of the DLC, which includes a roguelike battle.
You gotta read the whole thing, but
Another includes British people yelling. Volume 3 of the expansion pass launches February 15th. Woo!
Who is this from? PressStart.com.au.
Yeah,
Australia.
I told you. I looked on
Brant.
several ones. This.
We have to let them know we used their news article. Woo! Next up, brand new Samba de Amigo game was announced. You can dance with a friend to check your compatibility. And there's online play too. It's releasing around the middle of the year. I like this site already. Yeah, there's like a love compatibility thing you can do with
the love
shaking the maracas. Have we seen any of the
Samba de Amigo? It was awesome.
It's back to the original
Great
creator.
to see it back.
This is the Dreamcast creator that's back at it, not the Wii one. People didn't like the Wii one. That was a
Wii one was it was okay.
It was a mobile studio, I believe, at the time.
Mobile.
It was no OG Samba de Amigo.
And it's only $40. We haven't seen a track list though, right?
Not yet. They'll probably show that off later.
I'm just humming Kids in America.
Dancing in the Moonlight. Yep.
Caesar in America.
Next up was a new X-Seed game where you get to be a fashion designer, a fashion dreamer.
This actually looked good. Like, it looked well put together and everything. It didn't seem grabby like some of those games can be. Fashion designer. What was the Nintendo franchise that actually did this?
Like
Style Savvy, that's it.
Yeah, something like that.
This looks like one of those, right? Releasing exclusively to Nintendo Switch in 2023.
Yep.
So that's where you collect XE games. Is this one you're going to grab?
Sure.
It don't look bad.
It'll probably notoriously be a very low print run game.
Yeah.
as Xseed likes to do.
There's an individual. I'm to the point where I can make purchases not just for myself and the household, and there's an individual in my house that may really jam with this, so maybe coming their way. There's games for everybody. This is definitely a game for Brant.
Hell yeah. We're talking Dead Cells Return to Castlevania expansion, DLC kind of thing. It's releasing in March.
It is DLC. So this will update that like 5-year-old Switch card, I guess. Wow.
Yep. And you get to play, like they showed, you can play as or alongside Richter and Alucard, and they have several reimagining or rearranged versions of the songs, classic Castlevania songs that sounded amazing. So this will probably be a day one buy for me.
And they've always seemed to taken care with those renditions. Like, remember the ones from Smash Brothers Ultimate? Those sounded so good. They did a great job with those, with that music. Good. Cesar had a MP3 folder with all those songs floating around somewhere. He had it like right after the game came out. That was a good collection.
Oh yeah.
Next up, a narrative adventure game set in the Tron universe was announced.
I did not get this in the Japanese one, so
I don't remember seeing much of this. You get to pick between the puzzle adventure game or the film starring Jared Leto. It's releasing in April. I love this site.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, these comments are amazing. Next up, I remember this from what the DS. You love
DS.
Both of you guys love this.
This is a highly sought after DS game. It's one that I have not personally got into, but looks extremely interesting. Really but it's ridiculously expensive. So thank God that this is being done. We're talking about Ghost Trick. Is getting an HD remaster.
There's another game coming up later on. Actually, a collection of 3 that are all quite expensive on their own that are getting a collection.
And see, the crazy thing is, I don't think they announced the physical version for us, but I know Japan has one.
On Ghost Trick?
Yeah, I believe Eggo's on the card as well.
Damn it.
You can play it.
Hey, if Asia gets a version with English on it,
still cheaper than when we're looking at DS prices of like $250. We'll pay the import.
Learn Japanese. Don't have to worry about the English part. Stop being a coward.
Cesar, we see how much time and effort you put into it. I don't know if either one of us has the time and energy. You're a dedicated master of discipline.
What about this brand new RPG from Level 5 called Deca Police?
Level 5's back.
Level 5 is
They had a bunch of games on the show. According to pressstart.com.au, it's a new RPG from Level 5, the team who brought us Professor Layton, Dark Cloud, and Yokai Watch. That wasn't funny. That was just a good description. Failed us.
See, they can be serious too. Next, they showed the prequel Bayonetta game, Syriza and the Lost Demon.
Yeah. The
Bayonetta Origins game, which didn't operate exactly how I thought it was going to, but that gameplay shows basically little Bayonetta can use her powers to like freeze or hold an enemy while the demon actually goes and attacks them. So it's definitely interesting.
So it's like a buddy mechanic or like a little bit assist
different
floating mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do this the next time there's a direct or something. We need to do this where we write a one-liner underneath everything that we see.
Yeah, I'm down for that. And it's still on the way for March.
Damn, that's soon.
Next we saw some Splatoon 3 DLC. Something to get us back into Splatoon.
85 hours. You put 85 hours in Splatoon 3.
90.
Giving flashbacks to the original Splatoon. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Which
brings back Inkopolis.
I've been wondering why we didn't get some sort of Splatoon 1. You know, that's another Wii U title. I wonder why we didn't get any sort of reimagining of that, but I guess this is it.
No, skip
Yeah.
1, go to 2, man.
Skip 1, go to 2. Skip 2, go to 3.
And
Yeah.
the first, there are going to be 2 waves. This first wave of DLC will drop before the end of May. And then the other expansion is called Side Order. And there was just like a small tease for that. And then moving on, we got a brand new Mickey Mouse game that they just showed a little bit more of. I think we've seen it before. Disney Illusion Island,
Yes.
where it's like a 4-player co-op, like side-scrolling platforming kind of deal. Releasing July 28th. Then they showed off some expansion, more DLC for Fire Emblem Engage. Wave 2 will include Hector, Soren, and Camilla. Wave 3 will have Chrom, Robin, and Veronica. Wave 4 will include a brand new story called the Fell Xenologue. And even better, you can get your hands on Wave 2, that first part of that, starting that day of the show. They had a bunch of these that just kind of like dropped. in the
Available now.
Which Nintendo is great about doing, and it's awesome to see what gets announced, and then they're like, oh yeah, you can download it later today.
Maybe we skim past this real quick, but Enrique P31 in the chat says, I like the ReZero poster. Does that ring a bell to somebody?
It's in the back of Cesar's.
Ah, they're digging Cesar's poster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks for listening, Enrique, and watching the poster.
Specifically.
Just the poster.
Looks past us, goes straight
These
to the
3 guys are boring. They suck. The poster's great. Show more posters.
Zoom in on the poster.
Poster cast. Poster podcast. All right, next up was a brand new game from Don't Nod was announced. This is Harmony: The Fall of Reverie. It's out in June for Switch. It's got a soundtrack by the team who did Celeste's soundtrack. I know that was raved about. Allows you to change the story's outcome through a series of trees. Like physical trees? Or like dialogue trees?
Probably dialogue trees.
You never know. Could be Lumber Simulator.
Lumber Simulator. Love it.
Went out there somewhere.
They showed off some Octopath Traveler 2 demos out today. Did anybody try the demo?
Still have to go through one. I think Renee's the one that got furthest out of all of us.
Renee has like triple-digit hours, right?
I got somebody on my Switch friends list that's got like 400 hours in there. I was like, how's that game that long?
I don't want to travel that long. Where are they going?
Damn.
400 hours. Is it an MMO? Do we just not know what Octopath Traveler is?
I have to hold on. I have to look it up. Hold on.
I have this game. Gosh. I'm not ready for this sort of commitment.
It was in the hundreds.
Game Pass.
It was in the hundreds. When I was looking on Switch.
It's in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've spent more on games and played them way less, so I'm no one to judge.
True.
Okay, hold on. It's my old co-worker. He's put 310 hours in Octopath Traveler.
Doing what? Like grinding?
I don't know. He's got 545 hours in Smash, 220 hours in Tetris 99. And those are the only 3 games he's played on that console.
I've got a friend like this that puts in minimum 100 on every title they pop in there, and I'm like, how do you do this? How do you have the discipline to pull this off? They interviewed for a job.
Is that game really that long?
What's that?
That game really that long, or is he maxing out everybody at level 99?
What do you do?
Probably.
We severely underestimated Octopath Traveler.
Renee, explain Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, let us know, Renee. Call in. And they didn't even settle it. Whatever they're doing, whatever the travelers are doing on the Octopath, they didn't even finish it because there's a new one coming out.
Never ending.
And the demo said, now I understand, because the demo's like, play the first 3 hours. And I'm like, that sounds like a pretty significant chunk of the game. Apparently it's not.
And they said
it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
You just beat the first part of the prologue.
100-hour prologue? What the fuck?
100-hour
Brant, what was that
now
tune?
the story
Brant, what was that
begins.
tune you were just singing?
Oh, just a little game called Katamari Damacy. We're getting a brand new one. Well, we're getting We Love Katamari Reroll.
This is the PS2 one, right? The other PS2 one?
Yeah. And that's is releasing on June 2nd.
So what's the subtitle on this? Is this like a battle royale with Katamari?
Yeah, what are they doing? This one added multiplayer. I do remember that from the PS2 days.
Yeah.
All right, Renee says our answer to Octopath Traveler is side quests and leveling.
I don't know. Renee's calling me.
Is he trying to call? Is he literally trying to call into the show?
Yeah. It was.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll have to have a Octopath Traveler spoiler cast. Renee can catch everybody up on the first game, and then we can all head into the second game together after we play the 3-hour demo.
After 3-hour demo.
After we all wait for the price drop to $20.
Hey, I'm going on a 3-hour cruise. I can play the 3-hour demo in my 3-hour cruise.
I mean, if I can play the first one 300 hours, I mean, I get my money's worth out of it on Game Pass.
The only thing that keeps me up at night is we got like how many more days until Babylon's Fall is taking off?
Oh my god,
forever.
I still have to do it. I still have to do it. How much longer is it?
I
don't
2
know.
weeks. Is it the end of February or is it like mid-February?
It's soon. It's very soon. Yeah, it's very soon.
I want to say it was the 20 something.
Of course.
I'll look it up.
Brand's already had his fill of it.
Uninstall.
It's like,
Brant, don't you have an 8 terabyte PS5? Uninstall. I'm cleaning out the fridge. This has to go.
He's like, whatever. They're absolutely not. Delete.
I do not have room. Brant, you have an 8 terabyte PS5. I don't have room for this. It has to go. While they're checking those dates, We Love Katamari is going to get one of the free Nintendo weekends. I guess you can, if you're, I'm sure
28th,
February 28th for Babylon's Fall.
Babylon's Fall.
Which one is it? Wikipedia's telling me the 23rd.
It's a 5-day difference. Which region do we have to set our
5 days
console
changes
to?
everything. I might start 5 days earlier than what I was going to do.
If we set our console to a different region, we get the extra 5 days.
Oh, we just keep going back in time with our CMOS clocks. They'll never be shut down.
Infinite batteries. Next up, Sea of Stars has been dated and has a demo. It's coming out August 29th. I think Cesar and I kickstarted this years ago. And I played the demo. I guess we'll talk about it later. The demo is excellent.
It's out August 29th. And it's...
I believe it when it's in my hands.
Same team that made The Messenger. Amazing
Did you like that,
game.
Brand? I didn't play The
Messenger. I love The Messenger. It's so good.
Like Ninja Gaiden style, right? Gaiden?
I mean, Gaiden? Was it Sea Stars is in the same universe, right? I think these characters are in The Messenger.
Yeah, I think so.
Omega Strikers is coming to Switch. It's out in April and a soccer live service game. You can pre-order it now, even though it's free and digital only. I'm not really sure. Bye.
This is the...
I love this website.
This was the like soccer air hockey looking.
That looked wild though.
It did look interesting.
It looked fun.
Oh my gosh.
Like foosball.
I got a seller on eBay sending me a bunch of offers.
On what games?
Not just 5% off. Just a bunch of stuff. I'm not even looking. Yeah. I'm just trying to get the notifications off my screen.
It's that. Let me just flood him with the 5% off, and he might buy the generic 5%.
You'll get one, then you'll get two, then you'll get a third, then we'll get free shipping. All right, next up, somebody's throwing Etrian Odyssey a bone after all these years. It says pressstart.com.au. This is Etrian Odyssey 1, 2, and 3, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are. You're able to buy them separately or all as a bundle. So
and a physical release.
These were
not here, we don't think yet, or hasn't been announced. I saw it for $85 on Play Asia, and I was like, that is high for a Switch game. That is a good value for what these 3 games have.
Yeah.
I sent that link to Cesar. He's like, man, that's like hundreds of hours of content. Well, Octopath Traveler apparently is hundreds of hours of content. I don't even know anymore.
What's a video game?
Hundreds of hours of content. Miserable pile of content.
And the Etrian Odyssey Origins collection will be out June 1st.
Soon.
Next up, Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp finally got a concrete
Huzzah!
release date.
Yeah.
Thank God. April 21st.
Unless you're that person who had their pre-order unlocked several months ago. Oh yeah, that was that. That's when it popped up and was available. Because I was about to say we pre-ordered like 3 years ago. It feels like.
Yeah, Target keeps trying to cancel my pre-order. Those sons of bitches.
Are you sure you want to approve delay? Delay.
I gotta go in there, and I have to like Material Canyon and go on their website like every 15 days and go in there because sometimes they don't send me notifications and just sit there and approve it because they're like, oh, our system screwed up. We didn't send you notification. My bad.
So I looked at Evil West the other day just out of curiosity. Nobody's reviewed it. I don't think they have ever gotten any copies in to send out. We would still be approving that delay for that game that came out like 3 months ago. Whatever. Thanks, Target. Also, thanks to Target, Kirby continues to have the deepest lore in the latest trailer for Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
What a
new mode was shown in which you'll play as Magalore. I'm pretty sure that's some sort of reference. As he tries to regain his powers across 20 stages, is accessible after finishing the story, and you'll have a chance. You'll have choice in how to build your Magalore. 2, the game is still on track for release later this month, and a demo is out today. You know your Nintendo console is dying when you start getting a lot of Kirby games. We got one last year. We're getting one now.
My favorite was on the Nintendo Japanese Direct. They just call it Kirby Wii. Kirby Wii.
Kirby Wii?
Yeah, they called it Kirby Wii. Yeah.
I wish
they're not even trying to hide it over there. They're just like, it's Kirby.
I wish we could get that as a cover, like a reversible cover. Kirby Wii.
Kirby Wii.
I was like, holy shit! When they're going in on the Kirby
I guess
Wii.
we have to it's got to be an improved version for our audience for people to want to purchase it and not pay for the same game again. Is that the stigma?
No, man, it's the American way. You keep changing it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I bought this game already.
They've thrown deluxe on the end of this every single freaking title from the Wii U and the Wii so far.
It's not bad branding. I don't hate it. I don't hate the deluxe. It's fine.
It's not terrible.
I'm straight looking at the Japanese box art and it says Kirby Wii on there. It has Wii on there. It has Wii on there.
Is the box art better than ours? We have pretty good box art. Our Kirby box arts have always been solid.
I don't want to send in your chat because it'll ruin your whole feed, but I'll take a photo here and send it to your phone. This is exactly what it looks like.
Did anybody try that demo? I know I downloaded it, but I didn't give it a shot.
No, we all know we're going to buy it anyway.
Yeah.
So
we buy Kirby games.
Shut up and take my money.
Is there a bad Kirby game?
I don't know.
I can't think of
I don't think so.
Head, man. It's a loaded question.
They haven't made a bad Kirby game.
I should defend it. I feel like I should defend it if you did insult one.
Is there a Kirby other M of the series?
Kirby other M.
I guess the weird ones would be like the gourmet battles, like those weird mini games on the 3DS that were maybe.
I don't know if I would accept those because at a certain point they turned Kirby into like an experimental.
It says Kirby Wii?
An experimental.
It says Kirby Wii, right?
It says Kirby
Richard
Wii.
says Kirby on the game. I'm gonna call it a Kirby game.
Yeah, that looks dope. That one's so much better than ours. I mean, well, ours kind of. I just like seeing the Kirby Wii on there.
They're honest.
Yeah, the Wii does it for me. I'm not gonna lie, the Wii does it for me.
Hey, just put you some high grade photo paper in your laser printer at home and print it out. You can just the aspect ratio.
My monochrome laser printer.
Order the Japanese one because the English is included on the cart, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Get that one too. We got an even better look at the new kind of Danganronpa game, says pressstart.com.au. It's called Master Detective Archives Rain Code, and it's out on June 30th. I think we saw this in a previous direct, right? And we were all like raving about the art design.
You were raving.
I was floored when I saw this the first time. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this looks incredible." So, out June 30th. Maybe we get a physical release on that one. I'll support this. It looks wild and different enough to where I'm like, I will vote with my wallet, as Cesar would put it. This is another one I'll be voting with my wallet for.
Batten
Kaitos. 1 and 2 are coming together in a juicy remaster, says pressstart.com.au. Some of the most underrated RPGs that were on the GameCube. The battle system is tied to decks and cards, but I promise it's not shit, says the writer from this website, who I adore.
All right. I'm checking with the exchange rate, guys. you save 8 cents if you order Kirby from Japan than buying it from America.
With shipping?
Wow.
It's $59.91. Yeah, with shipping included. Yeah, that's with like you get it the second day shipping, probably quicker than you would get it in America.
So this might be big time, especially from Target. Target 8 weeks from now. Do you still want this Kirby game? No, we're getting it remastered on whatever the Switch's successor is. It still says Kirby Wii. Kirby Wii. Bat and Kaito. I was going somewhere with one of those. Exchange rate, Target. No, I think I went there with it. Bat and Kaito's 1 and 2. I was turned off on this years ago just because I heard it was a card system, and I never really gave it a fair shake. But I have both of these somehow.
I do as well.
Y'all have any experience with the Bat and Kaitosis?
I did.
None at all.
This is when I went through my Monolith software kick, and I played everything they made. So
I know it's good. You assign the cards for the battle, like per battle, and there's a lot of strategy behind it. People love them. The soundtrack's good. I've streamed some of the soundtrack before.
I mean, it's from the Xenogears, Xenoblade, Xenosaga team.
Very Chrono Cross and like Final Fantasy X looking. It's like Asian island themed. Pre-rendered backgrounds too. It's got a very interesting look. I'm intrigued to see kind of how it looks on the OLED screen and stuff like that. How those pre-rendered backgrounds translate. They can be hit and miss sometimes if they're done. Depending on how they're done. A new Fantasy Life game is coming. Fantasy Life: A Girl Who Steals Time. It sounds like a Cesar game.
I've got Fantasy Life on 3DS.
I woke up as a slime,
like
my
porn.
lord, again, in this dungeon. Yep.
No, that's not even close. Dude, you were talking about like novels from like 5 years ago. Now it's a whole different world now, dude.
What do they call them now?
The titles are ridiculous and
Not safe for
sometimes oddly inappropriate. So.
not safe for airwaves.
Yeah, there was one like something about like the girl I met next door was masturbation material or something like that. Was like one of the light novels that just came out. So I'm like, what? I don't know what the fuck's happening here anymore. They just run out of.
I think I have the
titles,
360 version of that one back here somewhere.
Yeah, it probably was released in Japan on 360. So.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
So moving on, level 5 is, like we said before, has several games. They teased a new Professor Layton.
Next door.
No. It says right
and
there,
the new world
Professor
of
Laytona. Yeah.
Laytona.
Daytona.
Oh no, both you guys went there. Hey, did everybody buy Daytona before they took it down? Like Cesar sent me in the middle of the night and I had to get. I think I was editing this podcast.
I was watching the VTuber and they were like, "Oh, I'll get the shit." I was like, "Fuck."
I was like, "Let me in." It wouldn't let me in. It wouldn't let me purchase it. I'm like, "Let me buy Daytona." And then I saw Jet Set Radio was on there, and for some reason I always assumed it was the original Xbox one, Jet Set Radio Future. But it's the Dreamcast one was on 360.
Yeah, I sent you that cover art, man. From Japan.
Oh, the cover art was good. Looks like Hi-Fi Rush. Brant, did you play any Hi-Fi Rush yet?
No, I haven't.
It's a Brant game.
Next we had the Wave 4 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, including tracks like Yoshi's Island. We get Birdo.
Did y'all hear that Yoshi's Island music when it was playing? I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I was laughing at.
Right.
I forgot who it was, but I was laughing at that guy from Eurogamer who it's like, "You're welcome" with Birdo.
Oh,
because he did that interview. He did that interview when Nintendo was like, "Yeah, you're missing Birdo," and then like they had to look around like, "Who?" When they were asking the producers of the game.
What?
And then it went by a different name, like Catherine or something like that in Japan. And like, oh, we'll see what we can do to add him back in there.
awesome.
Yeah.
One of my children like to pick Birdo in any title that Birdo appears in, so this will be a plus for them. Is this the first time Birdo's been on karting?
No, she was introduced in, I want to say Double Dash?
Double Dash as one of the characters. And Shy Guy? Was Shy Guy in that one? Have you ever been able to race it?
Yes,
Yeah, Shy Guy's in the newer ones.
I think I'd have to double check on Shy Guy.
should have this memorized.
I think he was in Double Dash.
We're a bad podcast.
Moving all the way back up to the top of the article here.
Thank you, Brant.
They added a new perk, new systems to the Nintendo Switch Online and Nintendo Switch Plus
Oh, yeah, they
expansion
did.
pack tiers. We got Game Boy,
Oh,
original Game Boy games, including Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, Metroid 2, Wario Land 3, and Kirby's Dream Land.
You know what? It just dawned on
And-
me. This is literally my Game Boy pack that I would carry around and take on trips and stuff. Tetris, Super Mario Land 2,
That's
Link's
good shit.
Awakening, Metroid 2, and Kirby's Dream Land. Damn.
It's
Yeah.
some good games, man.
And that's with the regular Nintendo Switch Online membership.
And of course, they said there's going to be more games added to both
Yeah.
of these. And they kind of showed a small little reel of games.
They showed it for the GBA.
Uh,
Did we ever see it for the original Game Boy? Did they show any of those?
I believe so.
I saw it was GBC because they showed what the Zelda
The
games,
Oracle
Oracles
games.
and Ages.
Yeah, it was
I wonder if they're
Oracles.
going to count that for the regular Game Boy side, or if they're going to add that to the GBA tier of the paid expansion pass. I will say,
No, those will be regular Game
I think
Boy
so. I hope
games,
so.
I think.
They don't play original Game Boy hardware.
Because it was that, it was the Pokemon trading card game, and it was
TDC.
There was a couple. Gosh, I'm trying to remember what else was there.
Speaking of which, Cesar, you need to let us know when we need to re-up, because we're actually really using that now. It's turned into
Yeah.
a good program, right? Since we all jumped for... What made us jump? What was the reason?
Just the
And the
Family
cost.
Plan.
Yeah, I just gave
Yeah.
up on the 64 games. It's like bucket.
But yes, for the NSO Plus expansion pack, we got Game Boy Advance games, including Super Mario Advanced 4. That's the title that has like all of the e-reader stuff already
And
packed
Super
into
Mario
it.
Brothers 3
Richard, July 15th.
is when we need to re-up.
Yes.
Sooner than I thought it was. For
Okay.
some reason, I thought it was fall. I know you have probably the same amount of willing participants, though.
WarioWare, Kurian, Mario Kart
Awesome
Super
game.
Circuit, Mario and Luigi
Awesome
Superstar
game.
Saga, The Legend of Zelda,
Incredible
the
game.
Minish Cap. And then, of course, they also showed more titles coming in the future, such as
Ugh.
Metroid Fusion, Golden Sun, Fire Emblem, and there were several titles in there that was just like
GBA
I
had
want
such
those
a good
now,
library. So Russell and I download this as soon as the direct is over.
but- oh yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as it was up.
I think Cesar was letting us know it was going live, and we fired up Minish Cap because Russell's never played Minish Cap, and I'm starting to think back on my time with Minish Cap. I'm like, is this the best 2D Zelda? Is this up there as far as that formula goes? Minish Cap was a lot of fun. Minish Cap was good, but it's up there with the Oracle games and Link's Awakening and all kinds of stuff. So it'd be a hard comparison. That would be a argument, knockdown, drag out podcast content.
I don't know, man. Link Between Worlds is always going to be my favorite.
I know you dig that one too, yeah. That one counts as 2D Zelda. It's the 2D style.
I like the darker Zelda games, man. They're always drawn to them.
We got some gameplay of Tears of the Kingdom, as well as the announcement of a new collector's edition.
Oh.
You wanted to skip something else?
I was about to say, you're just gonna come back to the other?
Yeah,
thing?
because we played some of that one, so I was gonna wrap back around to there. I went out of order for the Newsmaster, Brant. My sincere apologies.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yep.
I see what you're doing, sir.
Tears of the Kingdom.
But Tears of the Kingdom, Banjo
I saw that
Kazooie nuts and bolts
comparison.
style. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "What is this Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts thing? He's riding around on a car."
And then it turned into a boat, and he's like paddling across the. We're gonna be building shit, right? We're gonna be building cars and shit.
Oh gosh,
Some people swear by nuts and bolts.
please no.
I've heard it's a very good game.
I think one of their lead designers was out there saying, like, hey, this game's on Game Pass. It looks very much like that new thing that other place is showing off. And last but not least,
well, hold on. We saw a special edition for the game, which is going to release the same date as the game will. And also the other controversy is this game is $70, which kind of sets some people's hair on fire.
Renee's apparently,
because $70 is for new generation games, but Nintendo has come out and said they decide what they base the game price on a game by game basis.
So it's like Microsoft and Sony's over there like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Join us.
So you're trying to get $70 for that Kirby Wii title, Nintendo, which is a $60 game.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a $60 game. The next game we're about to talk about is only $40, and I know, right? And that was like basically it says remaster in the title, but it's basically like a full-blown remake almost.
It is reskinned to the quality of almost remake style, but just not a remake we've come to see as like a reimagining, right? Like Final Fantasy VII Remake or Resident Evil Remake.
Yeah.
This is not that, so it is very much a remaster, but it's blending the worlds there. That game is, of course, the original Metroid Prime game. Marketed as Metroid Prime Remastered. And available now, they said. And I started downloading now. I did immediately.
Did you see that game's the physical edition selling out?
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like sold out everywhere.
Are they doing the Bayonetta? Are they doing the one-print Bayonetta thing?
Nobody knows. Everybody keeps doing the quotations around sold out.
Why?
It's just listed sold out. I don't know.
It's Nintendo false scarcity.
I jumped on it with I jumped on it at Target with that buy one get one half off. So
yeah.
I bought it with another game, get a half off.
That is solid. Yeah, $40 for arguably one of the greatest games ever made and the greatest version of this game. I think it can finally be put to rest. Y'all have heard me hem and haw back and forth on this podcast about GameCube and Wii, and in the pre-show we were talking about the aspect ratio of the Wii one playing on the Wii U, backwards compatibility. Brant, maybe you fire that up after this real quick and we take a look at it and just see what yours does. I'm curious. Unless you're in the middle, I don't know if you saved on Wind Waker.
Point the camera at the screen. You coward.
Yeah, stream it from here. We just look over your shoulder. It's the live content. 2 dudes watch one guy play Wind Waker as his camera points at the screen.
Using the Halo Infinite GoPro on his head.
I just gotta move. I just gotta move one HDMI cable, and I could actually stream
that would be feasible then. So Metroid Prime Shadow dropped, and I think Cesar and I have been playing it. I think Brant's gonna wait for the physical. This was a vote with your wallet for me personally. As many times as I've bought this game over the years.
I happily just spent $79 on a Metroid Prime game that everybody's making fun of spending $79 for Zelda game. So
yeah, $80 for a physical and digital copy to double dip. I guess that'll get us into games played. Shit. No, we'll kick around Metroid Prime. I just got an item. What did I get? Because I haven't used it yet. Or I'm on my way to get the item. I just got the boost, the ball boost. You hold down, you tap A or whatever to like make the ball go faster, the morph ball. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm headed to the double jump is the next thing I get. But it's incredible. It looks amazing. Cesar, are you playing TV or handheld?
TV.
Exclusively?
I think I played handheld in bed, and I was like, what am I, 12? And then I just put it back on the TV.
Oh, I like playing like I'm 12. Yeah. I did play a little bit on the TV, and it looked amazing. It really looks good on that OLED Switch. It actually gets so dark in some areas where you're like, oh god, I'm not gonna be able to tell where I'm going as your ball like rolls in a corner and stuff. But the sound was remastered. The sound is incredible. I've been listening with headphones, and there are times when Samus is like running down a hallway, and you'll hear the clink, 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 and it's like you hear it echoing off the walls and stuff. It is so awesome. The flashes there, like the reflection flash when she shoots a missile, you see her face in the visor. The rain when you first land on Talon 4, the rain, if it drips on the arm cannon and it will like come towards you, and then if you lean it forward, it'll like drip off the front of the arm cannon. There's some really, really cool environmental touches, and this game is just so atmospheric, and it rewards exploration, and it's so good. I cannot believe we have it on this console, and it's handling it. We bitch about the Switch almost every week. Like, I'm probably not buying that on Switch. It probably can't handle it.
It's quickly become the one game everybody's talking about, saying like this is the best looking Switch game that I've ever seen. You know,
might be the best looking one I've played. I mean, I love Breath of the Wild, but that had the cell shading artwork going for it, which doesn't take away from it. But this is a very, very good looking video game, and it plays like a dream. You've got, they added the GameCube controls. You can play that way if you want to, and it actually supports the GameCube controller if you plug in the Smash Brothers adapter and all that. You could play the old school way. You could play with the Wii pointer. You could play with a combination where you're moving around with the Joy-Con and you're pointing with the pointer, which is wild. And then they have dual stick, which is like, you know, it plays like Halo or something that's a lot more modern, Call of Duty, which is the way I've been playing it exclusively. So, sorry, which one have you honed in on?
Which one?
Metroid Prime, the control schemes, the three.
Whatever the OG one is. So.
The dual stick or the GameCube one?
I didn't change. To answer your question, I didn't change.
I think it defaults to the dual stick. So you're probably playing it like a Halo game. Yeah, it controls like a dream. Brand, I know you've played it a ton of times before too. It feels and moves so good. It looks great. I can't rave about it enough. It's funny, we're going to be talking Game of the Year type stuff, and Metroid Prime's probably going to be Metroid Prime Remastered. It's going to pop up on people's lists, and it's only February.
What's crazy is like there's new stuff surfacing showing that Nintendo probably sat on this game for like at least a year and some change, because we've been hearing about it forever. How
many times do we bring it up in news? People talking about it, the insiders mentioning Metroid Prime Remastered was done. And what better way to shadow drop it and then release the physical one later? And I wonder what percentage of sales are double dips as well, like that, where people are like, I got to have this now and play it, and then I'll get that one later. And then, of course, their FOMO of artificial scarcity also will drive up that if it's getting around that print's over, like Cesar said.
Yeah, they'll kill Samus March 31st.
Like the Kirby concert we can't watch anymore.
Or the Mario All-Star Collection or whatever the shit thing on Switch.
Y'all still see those at like Walmart and stuff?
Actually, no.
The 3D All-Stars, they're gone?
Starting to get less and less, yeah.
It's dwindling.
I'll never see one in a Blue Moon now.
I used to see them every time I was there. I was like, this game's always here. Got plenty of these copies. I think they over-ordered on that one or something, maybe.
Yeah.
I dabbled a lot in the Game Boy emulation stuff, and it seems to be really, really good. You can play it in the is it the right aspect ratio? It's called small screen or something like that.
Yeah.
But it looks, especially on the handheld, it's the Game Boy screen size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever emulator they're using is probably the best one I ever played.
It's awesome.
I played like 4 or 5 different ones on Steam Deck and PC, and there's some games that won't run on those, and this one seems to run everything.
That's great. So. Oh, I dropped off. Damn it. I played a good bit of Super Mario Land 2. That was one of my favorite original Game Boy games. I've played.
Is that your test game? Always your test game?
It's one I know how to play and pull off and how it's supposed to look. So I think you're right on that, Cesar. Yeah. And in that Game Boy emulator, you get the option of like the original Game Boy. So it's like the pea soup green color and gray. You get a Game Boy Pocket version, which my brother had, and I was insanely jealous of the whole time he had one, because it was like a beautiful silver, white, black contrast.
God bless that dot matrix LCD.
It was awesome. And his battery seemed to last longer than mine, despite it being the AAAs. But that was just us hoarding batteries as kids. Batteries, and now we do it on Halo.
as you take it out of your parents' remotes. Why does the TV remote keep dying?
Why doesn't this work anymore? My portable radio.
I just changed the remote. I can't change channels now. What the fuck?
You can also get. There's another setting. I should have brought my damn Switch down here. It's not aspect ratio, but it's like the screen will. It's like the dot matrix screen, like Cesar was saying. It doesn't. It's not playing a normal emulator where you just have these pixels and it's like, okay, that's kind of what it looked like, but that's not what the display looked like. Like
not filters. Right?
Yeah,
it's like not filters.
They emulated
like
with the filters. They emulated what this device actually looked like really, really well, I believe. I did see one person noting specifically on the Game Boy Pocket one. Remember on the Game Boys you could adjust the contrast. So they were like, I immediately was trying to go up there and change the contrast, and it's not available in that. And he felt like it was too washed out on Metroid. So
damn it, Richard.
Yeah, maybe play Metroid on the green, the pea soup one.
I think I played it on the Game Boy Color emulator or whatever it was, where it gave like the weird 4 colors. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think it's the Game Boy Pocket one that has the funky that washes it out, because I think I saw that on Metroid 2.
I don't think I did the Pocket one. I think I did the Game Boy Color one on that one, where it gave me like, I got like 2 extra colors because it knew somehow to fill it in, and it's like, this should be red.
Where it auto assigns those colors on the pixels, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a revelation
at the time.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice having that, and you could hold didn't you hold like B up and the D-pad, and you could change the color palette and swap those around? I wonder if that's on that emulator. I haven't even tested that.
I forgot all about that. So
yeah,
good point.
Because I ended up there was a really good black and silver one for Game Boy Color that I would use for like Super Mario Land and stuff like that. When I played on Game Boy Color, it's like the best version of that until now, I would say. We started Minish Cap. We played some Super Mario Advance Super Circuit, and that has I guess it's a dot matrix mode of sorts as well, that you can apply, and because so a lot of thing with retro games, and this won't be a soapbox, I promise. But people want
get on that.
People want to apply scan lines to everything. There were no scan lines on Game Boy screens. They were literal pixels. It's just the way the pixels moved that it has to be represented properly, and they nailed it on this. I was playing Super Mario Super Circuit on OLED, and it looks so freaking good on my TV. It was sharp. Minish Cap looks so good too. I can't wait for Golden Sun and stuff. Golden Sun was.
Yeah, Golden Sun was a treasure back in the day. I remember playing the shit out of that.
Drooled over. I finally had I had a job and I was making money and stuff like that, and I bought a Game Boy Color right before the Advance came out. I've told the story a million times.
You sound just like me because I did the exact same fucking thing. So.
But I played the Oracle games. Those were like the last hurrah of the Game Boy Color was Oracle games, and I had to have one. You had to have a Game Boy Color to play the Oracle games. And when I was buying Nintendo Power at that point, and they were showing the Golden Sun screens in Japanese, like with the text boxes below them, and I was like, I cannot believe this is a handheld. There's no way. And I printed out a game fact so I could get all the Jin in that one. I had all those summons. I freaking loved Golden Sun. That was such a good game. I can't wait to play it again. This was a hell of a direct. I guess we should have wrapped that up before we jumped to the games played.
No, that's fine. You good. You did well.
I thought it was a lot of good stuff. You probably got that from us, but especially JRPG fans, right? Eating good on Switch the next year or two, and games that can run comfortably on it. They're not really pushing the hardware. We're getting GameCube ports and DS ports and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, and then we're getting a remake of Altilair from PS1, Marie.
I forgot.
Which we never got
about that.
Which is fucking expensive as hell to
I feel like there's another big collection coming up that we're missing. But there's so many games announced and so many classic comebacks, which is awesome. What do I want to talk about? I played some Hi-Fi Rush. Cesar, did you play much of this?
I played a little bit of my Steam Deck.
Okay.
But I'm literally probably like 15, 20 minutes.
I might go ahead and purchase this on Steam just to support, because I was playing it through Game Pass.
That's what I did, yeah. I bought it on Steam because I wanted to make sure they got the support on there. It's if you played in Japanese, voice acting is very
Is it really?
good. It's very good.
Yeah, I've loved the English one.
The Japanese one is it's a treat, man.
The game starts off as this is the one we were talking about, last week or 2 weeks ago from Tango Softworks, the Evil Within people. You play as Chai, and the beginning of the story is told through like cel-shaded Saturday morning cartoon cutscenes, and it's like very cartoonish what happens to him. But he ends up going to his arm's broken, and he signed up for a robot arm apparently. But he also had an iPod on him. He's always listening to music, and there's like the first thing you see is like a licensed song come on there, and I was like, no way, this is awesome. So I think you're gonna have licensed music peppered throughout the game. But through this accident that only can happen in these type of games and cartoons, he basically gets like an Iron Man iPod pressed into his chest, and then he's always on rhythm. So, and everything around him has this rhythm to it, and you try to attack with these rhythm for bonuses. And it's not like you're watching me snap and like bob my head and do that. You end up doing that throughout the game, and the art style's gorgeous. The gameplay is awesome. I'm not really good at these hack and slash like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry. I just haven't played that many of them. And I feel like I get the beat pretty good. Like it helps me tapping my foot and chain in combat attacks together. Like they rank you at the end of each one, and I got an S on one of them. That's the best you can get, right? S tier.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that on one of them.
Unless you get that super hidden triple S. Sometimes those games have triple S and double S.
Okay. I beat the first boss, which was it was like a culmination of all the parts of the song that I'd been listening to all the way through the level. And it was a Nine Inch Nails song, just when you guys get there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very good boss battle. It was a lot of fun.
This game's like a fucking Dreamcast game, man.
Yeah.
It's like early 2000s Capcom.
It's a Dreamcast game with maybe the power of the PS2, like the polish of what you could do with the PS2 more so than a Dreamcast ROM.
It's like those days where Capcom were risky. That's what it reminds me of.
It does.
It's like, oh, we'll fucking put this out here. It doesn't that people won't appreciate until 20 years later. And like, why didn't we get a sequel?
It is. It is one of those games that we don't bitch about. We do bitch about. But like we've lost, it's either AAA or it's an indie, and there's nothing in that middle between space. And this is so good. AAA doesn't mean quality. It just means like higher production value, super marketing. This was another shadow dropped one. But it's just so full of charm. His name Chai, and I just met a character named Peppermint. So it's like the characters are T's so far. And there's a lot of real cool Easter eggs and stuff in the dialogue and things like that. The way it's written, there's so many. It's super polished. I can't believe a game like this was just shadow drop. Like nobody knew anything about this game.
What's crazy? Yeah, what's crazy? I think they said it was being made in 2017.
Damn.
So it's been in the burner for a while.
This is a Brant game, 100%. You got to give this one a go.
Oh yeah.
The platforming is so. I'm not super wild about the platforming, but it's really only means to an end to get you to the next section with baddies to go through and do. Yeah. Really, really good. There's a talking cat in it. I'm just now, so you beat the first boss, you go to like their hideout, and that's kind of where I stopped, because the levels are long. They are super long. It's a good thing I don't know if it's a quick resume game, but I at least got to there where I could save it. But it was one of those where it's such a surprise. I'm just smiling the whole time I'm playing it. I couldn't believe how much charm and polish and everything it had. It's a video game in the year of our Lord 2023. It's good. We're eating good so far in 2023. I'll wrap up with some Call of Duty Warzone 2.0. We've all been playing some Murder Island.
Yep.
Cesar, Russell, and I won 2 days ago. We had a triumphant finish in which the gas was closing in on the building we were in, forcing everyone down the hallway towards us as I mowed them down with my LMG. Brant, you've been getting on there with us with some cross-play. I think at one point we had one player on Xbox, one player on PC, one player on PS5. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was trios. It was just the three of us, yeah. But it worked. It's fun, man.
It just worked.
It's fun. I've reached a point with the game right now. I was kind of pissed off this afternoon. I was like, you don't need to do that. Play something you enjoy. Just step away for a minute. Don't let it aggravate you like this, because with these battle royales, you end up investing so much time in your strategy and your drops and your weapons and your builds and reviving each other and scrambling and going from house to house and parachuting. There's just so much that goes into it, and that makes the gameplay, right? If it was just, you would just be playing a normal 4v4 Call of Duty or Halo or something like that if it wasn't that shtick to it. But there are some runs. Are battle royales roguelikes?
I guess so. Well, nah, not exactly.
Because you can't go back and get your shit, or
can't go back and get your shit,
and they close in.
The whole thing's not randomly generated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about the same island every time, but it's just
items are randomly generated.
You get different. Well, yeah, the items are generated randomly, but
we get a new map in 2 days, and it is a smaller map, and I will appreciate that, because there has to be, my favorite style so far in this one is mini trios. So when there's three of us, we automatically play in a shorter version of the island. It's a more compressed experience, things like that. It kind of takes the complaints away that I had about the long, drawn out, getting the stuff. I hate going in the gulag. Man, I hate the fucking gulag. So I think that, because if you play duos or solo, I played solo today and the first person I saw killed me and I was like, nope, it's not for me. It's definitely a team game. I do not enjoy this by myself. And I think this new map will make it more fun for duos or solo plays to be in a smaller space. Cesar Russell and I experienced that with PUBG back in the day as they brought about that smaller island, and it was a more compressed. You didn't have to scavenge for 40 minutes only to die and come in 15th place. Automatic 15th place. We had some pretty good runs. That victory one was awesome, though, and I think it was the first one of the day. So it was kind of like, oh, we know it's downhill from here. It's not going to go well. But we still ended up with some 4th and 5th place finishes. And even if we don't win, most of the time we don't win, right? If it's a good run and you have some wild moments and you have those stories that you're laughing about afterwards, and the battle royales always make me nervous. Like when it gets down to the final thing, when I'm done with the game, I'm literally shaking afterwards because it's like it's such a high pressure. People are all around you. You're trying to plan things. Brand doesn't do it to you. God, no. It's nobody else but me. I'm the wackadoo on the battle royales. Apex was the same way. Oh, but Warzone 2 is good stuff. And the new map will be out the 15th, I believe. So it's very, very soon. I cannot wait to try that out. That'll be a lot of fun. But those are my games played this week. And all the news we powered through.
See, for me, I think I ended up finishing Dead Space yesterday.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Dead Space?
I mean, like I said before, I mean, it's if you wanted to play a new version of the 2008 original, this is your one. I mean, I don't think they've really changed too much outside of the one additional character they put in there that quickly exited the game at the very beginning of the
It's Johnson, right? Didn't you say their name was Johnson?
Yeah, because like I don't remember there being 4 people, and then they like immediately died. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like,
they were cannon fodder.
That and you know, the whole thing that Isaac speaks throughout the whole thing, which, you know, he was a silent protagonist in the original one.
But this is a remake, right? You would call this a remake. They remade
everything else is still the same. I mean, outside of like the interactions with Isaac, where he adds a little bit more to the story, you get to bond with him a little bit more in his relationship with Nicole, which wasn't in the original one. Outside of what you had to go through text logs just to get an idea of.
Is that Renee's girl from the game, Nicole?
No, Nicole's the OG one who. I mean, I don't know, man. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to go.
Her space ends up dead.
Possibly. And possibly it could have been Silent Hill and she was dead the whole time. You never know. But this is probably the most Silent Hill-ish version of Dead Space because it has that creepy aspect in that story. I still remember that. So, like, all that shit you were doing is like not what you think it is at the end of the game. So you don't know what's real or not because that whole marker is just fucking with your head the whole time. So it's like there's a nice little twist at the end where you think you're doing one thing but you're not. So
I was watching you play on one of the streams, and you called it the Resident Evil of Dead Space. You had run out of ammo and something. You were scrambling.
It's bad, man. It's so bad. I hate that fucking shit, man. Just that, and the only thing that aggravates me in that game is when the fucking the hive monster grabs me with his tentacles and is holding me upside down or pulling me, and it's like no matter where I fucking aim, it's never where it needs me to hit, and I'm always getting like 2 seconds from death every time.
Oh, it messes up.
Like,
it messes up your reticle. It flips you.
Yeah, because I'm over here like I'm aiming and shooting, like I'm like I just spent all night drinking and trying to pee in the toilet and I'm missing everything. So that's the only way I can think. Like, you know, it's a straight piss on the floor. It's like I never hit the target. So that's the most irritating part. And like it sucks because like when you beat the hive to find a boss in the game, that it does that bullshit where when we grab you and you got to hit this one little tiny ass eyeball thing to destroy him, and I'm over here shooting like crazy. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to redo this whole thing again. There's no way. I would fucking uninstall this game. There's no way I would.
I don't like game design like that.
That final boss battle's like 20 minutes.
That'll ruin the immersion for me faster than anything. I'm like, I didn't do your little arbitrary bullshit thing. Thanks.
Yeah. But I got through it. I was like right there, almost back, because I literally would just ship that game back to GameFly. But like, nope, I'll just beat it some other time.
See you on the next remake.
Yep. See you when you're $20. Outside of that, it's pretty good, man. I like it. I mean, it's one of those ones I can come back to. So like I can literally when it comes down to a price like $40 or something like that, when I want to feel like playing it again, like another 3 months, I can go through it again. It's
That's
a lot
awesome.
of fun because it does give you new game plus once you get it, which I think carries over a lot of your shit you unlock.
What does it change? Like
So
the
it's like
difficulty
that.
level or?
I mean, you blow through it quickly. I mean, it gives you a chance to max out your weapons with those power nodes because there's no way in hell you have enough in your original playthrough. Even if you go through and buy them, if you happen to get all in there, gives you a level 6 rig with some more specs on there. I didn't go into what it was because I know level 5 takes I think 20% damage discount off your damage. But yeah, I mean, I would. It's one of those ones like. I used to do that a lot with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 back in the day on PlayStation 1, where I would replay those games a lot because I don't know, it's something I can do. I can't do it nowadays with horror games, but this is one of those ones I would do it because the gameplay is fun enough for me to do it. I just go through and like fuck it and just go through it and enjoy it because it's not too story heavy outside of when I died once with the fucking final boss and it makes me relive the whole cutscene because it's loading the fucking game again. I was like, I already seen this shit, but and it won't let me skip it because I know what it's doing. It's like it's fucking loading. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, that's my only complaints with it, man. Outside of that, the game loads fast, man. If you go out there and you click on resume activity, that's about the closest that you're going to get on PlayStation's version of whatever that fucking shit on Xbox is. So, yeah, that shit's like instant. Like I'm in there and on my little wherever I left off, like whoop. I'm like, oh god, that's probably the fastest I've ever seen on a PlayStation game. So, and
that's a true next gen game, right? Like it looks like a PS5 game. You couldn't pull this off on PS4 Pro or anything like that.
No. It looks just like I mean, it looks like a true current gen game.
I'm glad we're getting in. I'm glad we're finally getting into those.
Yeah. Yeah, we have so many. Yeah, there's a $85 fucking Final Fantasy collection I can't afford. That's 85 generations back, but I can never fucking get.
That one's haunting you.
It pisses me off, man. It's like as soon as they listen on, I'm waiting in a line with 400 people, and as soon as I get the line, there's nothing in my cart, and I'm like, God. I'm already getting upset.
You have them on Steam Deck. You have them portably.
Just let me enjoy things, man. But outside of that, speaking of Final Fantasy, I one of the games I did played that when I did have issues in Dead Space and I needed a break is I did put like I think like 6 hours in that fucking Theater Rhythm Final Bar line demo for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 13 man's got some good fucking music, man. That blinded light it still kicks, man.
Dun, dun. I knew immediately what. Dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. I love that. I love that
13's got some great music, man. 13's got great music, man. That demo's pretty good, man. It's 5 hours. It gives you a good taste of the game. So I think when you boot up, it gives you one key to unlock. I think 5 series you can unlock. I think it's 2. Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 14. No, not 14. Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 15, and
a couple of tracks from 13.
And 13. I already said 13. Yeah. Thank you. So those are the only ones you can unlock. And I think they give you, I think each one shows, 13 songs in each one of those. And so I think you can only do about half of them, where it comes up there like, okay, here's a key to unlock the next series. Go try that. But you can play the rest of this when you unlock the game. So as soon as you unlock a series, it gives you the base characters from that game. So like when you get 13, it gives you Lightning,
the little chibi version ones.
Yeah, this is all done in Unity. So yeah, looks just like the 3DS game that came out. I mean, this is the same vein of it, except there's a shit ton of stuff. Because when you pull up the menus, like every fucking Final Fantasy ever made, it's like there's like 2 different versions of Final Fantasy 7 on there. There's like the original on PlayStation and the fucking remake, and then the like Final Fantasy 7 verse bullshit where it has like all the games in the movie. But,
wow, it's got Advent Children on there.
Anything you think Final Fantasy, yeah, everything you can think of, it's got it on there, man. Music wise,
that's awesome. Is this a live service? This isn't a disc with all this music or anything.
This is all on disc except for the season passes. I think there's 3 season passes, and that's the ones that are not Final Fantasy based. Those are the ones like the romancing games and. Those are. I
didn't know all of it was on
everything.
Disc.
The Final Fantasy ones, yes. Everything else that they added on there, like the Romance and Nier, all those other extras, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, all that stuff, that's all season passes digital.
Oh, Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger have such great music too.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a good celebration, man. I mean, of music, man. I've enjoyed the hell of it, man, because it's not that bad. It's not a terrible game, like terribly hard game. It's not like fucking Hatsune Miku, where it's like I'm sitting there have to get surgery on my fingers after I'm done playing that. But
are you playing on PS5?
PS5, it's a PS4 version, but it's a PS4 version of PS5. So yeah, I mean the demo's available on Switch as well.
And the input lag is okay. Like, does it have a input lag calibrator or anything like that?
You can go in there, and I don't think I fucked with it. So to answer your question, I think when I looked into options, I think there's an option in there to mess with it. I think whatever setup I had on there was fine because I played with headphones.
Yeah.
So it's that whole thing when you have to add in the whole layer of TV and speakers that it's additional lag on there. But with headphones, I had no issue, so I didn't have to change anything. Yeah, it's really fucking good, man. I enjoy the hell of it. I think it comes out this week, so I think I'm gonna let that pre-order I have go ahead and ship to me.
How much is that on disc?
I think it's $49.
That's good. It's a lot of music. Yeah.
Not bad.
I think if you do it's $100 digital if you want to get all the digital copy of the game and then the 3 season passes. So I think looking at the season passes they had on there, I think they're releasing like 2 or 3 songs every week for like the rest of the year or some shit like that. I think is what they're doing with it. So it's supposed to be throughout the whole year. But it's really, really good, man. Fucking Final Fantasy 2's got some good ass music too, man. A lot of them are. Oh, Final Fantasy 5's the other one in there, man. That's the first one I played because I love 5.
5 has a great soundtrack.
5 is my favorite, man. God, I love fucking 5, man. That's the first one I played. I can't believe I forgot because that's the first one I played.
That's Battle on the Bridge, isn't it? And Gilgamesh.
Yeah, Battle on the Bridge. Oh yeah. God, I love 5, man. That's my favorite Final Fantasy, man. I like the weird stuff, man. People like, oh, 5 sucks, but that or 3. I like 3 as well. People hate 3. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really, really good, man. It's one of those ones I fucked around and bought the Switch version too. So I think I'm just gonna keep it on both. I'm just gonna
double dip. I'm gonna download that demo on Switch probably and try it and play in bed like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, play in bed like a 12-year-old, man. That's the name of your episode.
Play in bed like a 12-year-old.
That can also be taken out of context as well, so it works both ways.
Oh God.
we get our most listens ever.
Yeah, the most hated listens. Yeah, and so I think that's it for me this week. I did fuck around with Jumping Flash after the trophy update, but nobody wants to hear that. So I'll kick it over to Brant.
Tell us about Jumping Flash. Somebody has to be talking about Jumping Flash.
It's I don't know, man. Every time I think of Jumping Flash, I get the fucking Rolling Stones song in my head, like Jumping Jack Flash, and that's usually how it goes. It's a gas. But which I think that's also some stuff in that levels of Jumping Flash. But I mean, Jumping Flash is what you're just a mechanical Usagi who just jumps on kettles and
mechanical
other
Usagi.
stuff, and I'm like. I don't know what to do in that game other than you collect the carrots and then you launch the next thing. I don't think there's anything really out there trying to kill me. I don't know, man. I think I need to be high for this game. I think this is where it really comes to life. It's I don't know I think I'll save this when I get old and I don't need to work anymore. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll get high and then play this game.
Jumping Flash, the high game.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's like the weird Dr. Wily villain guy that comes up there and takes shit. I don't know what's happening in this game. I don't know what's going on. Is there people in this robot? Who's in the Usagi? What's the Usagi doing? I mean, I don't know, man.
Is the Usagi God?
Is it a kami? I don't know, man. I'm just collecting ninjas, man. Ninjas are everywhere, and that's all I'm collecting. So,
Jumping Flash 2.
So that is my Jumping Flash update for the week. There will not be another ever again. I'm gonna kick it over to Brant here.
Bring us home, Brant.
Yeah. Aside from playing some Warzone with you gentlemen, which we played today, and we had one where like we got in the gulag and then we got out of the gulag and then we dropped and of course didn't have anything and we were dropping straight onto a site to try and res our teammates and there were already people there waiting. Murder. So we wound up
it's a double-edged knife with the gulag.
We wound up dropping down, finding some whatever weapons we could, and like hunkering down in a building. And
we got rushed.
We died pretty quick, but there were 3 people that rushed us, and we killed 2 of the 3. So, I also played. Had to boot up Nintendo Switch Online. I had to play some Tetris, Game Boy Tetris, see how that played. As well as I wanted to boot up and try that what is it, Kurin game where it's like the stick and it like rotates and you have to like rotate it through this like kind of maze like thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad little game.
It was included. I think it's on that GameCube collection I have. There's a Japanese GameCube collection with like Panel de Pon and Dr. Mario and stuff like that. I think it's a separate SKU. It came out for GameCube. But it's supposed to be, we never got any of these. Did we get that one here on Game Boy? Or was that import only? I don't think we ever got Kuru in.
Because I thought it was in English, the one I played on the American side.
Yeah, it was in
So
English.
we got a copy of that here?
We had to, that or Europe, because the one I played was in English.
Interesting.
The Japanese one was very much in Japanese when I played that one. So.
Because I thought this was one of those like we never got, so that was a big get for that collection.
No, which we never got was when you fired up the original Game Boy one. You're playing Mahjong, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. So
that's the loading screen.
No, that's the one on the Japanese Game Boy emulator.
Brent, what do you?
We got Alone in the Dark.
That's right, for Game Boy Color.
They got Mahjong. They didn't get Alone in the Dark.
Brent, what do you do in that game? It looks so crazy.
It's literally, it's like, I don't know, I skipped through a bunch of the dialogue to just literally play, but it's like this little fish character gets in the ship and it closes and then it like fans out.
It's a long stick.
And it shows, the stick just goes in circles and you've got to guide it through this maze as it rotates, because it constantly rotates.
All timing.
And you have 3 hearts, and if you bump one of the edges, that's a heart. So you have 3 times that you can get hit before you basically lose and have to redo the level.
Right.
But it's a neat little and definitely a different and interesting little puzzle game. I also booted up, what was it? Wario Land. Booted up that, played it a little bit.
Good ass game. Did you mess with the filters at all?
No, I actually didn't.
They're good. Go in those options. They're good stuff.
So because I know when I press the ZLZR, it just goes straight to the continue back to game menus.
The bottom, you have to go into the options of the actual emulator itself. I don't think it's in the game.
It's in the game selection. You've got to exit all the way out to game selection where you pick your box art. Yeah. It's just like the NES and Super Nintendo and 64 ones in Genesis.
Gotcha.
We're getting a lot of stuff on that service.
All right, Richard, to answer your question, yeah, it only came out in Europe.
I thought so. I thought we never got that. Yeah.
It's a launch game in Europe.
Because it was a GameCube one also, and I've looked at importing that, but it's not very friendly. So that would be a co-stream as you guide us through it.
I mean, the Japanese one was all mostly in katakana. It was readable. I mean, katakana is just basically substitute words for English. So.
Yeah.
It's just, I read it at a first grade level, so it's a little bit slower for me.
And other than that, I've just been going really hard at the Wind Waker HD. I think last time we talked, I had just started. I had gotten into the Forbidden Fortress, and I was Sly Coopering around with the barrel over me.
I think Richard's waiting for you to get up to him so y'all can race.
Earth Temple.
Well, here's the thing: is I got out. First of all, that sneaking around that Forbidden Fortress is bullshit.
It's not fun.
No, it's not.
It's not fun.
And I would sneak so good, and I'd get almost to the end of something and just barely move, and that one of those fucking big spear fucking moblins would get up on my ass, and I'm like, what did I do? I didn't get caught by you the whole time. I'm right here at the end. Just let me go. But finally,
blow the whistle.
Yeah,
kick you out of the fortress.
Finally got through that, and you get blown out of the fortress. Wind up on Windfall Island. You meet the talking boat. It was the red king
of Red Lions.
Yeah, the king of Red Lion.
Akai-Shiki.
And I have been playing nonstop. I got the 3 pearls did all of those dungeons. I've been using the guide just to like get me from point A to point B. Once I get in a dungeon, I'm like, nope, this is me.
Yeah.
I'm doing the dungeon.
Yeah, you can do it from there.
Did
you saw the third pearl, like the Jabu Jabu one? He just gave it to you.
Yeah, I was like, man,
What is
this?
Cut content.
Probably.
That was supposed to be a level.
And then from there you have to go and sail to these 3 spots and set these pearls on these pedestals, which activates them, and you get this giant tower that pops out of the ocean. And then once you go through that temple, you actually you get to see that this huge ocean that you've been sailing on is Hyrule. Hyrule is underneath the ocean.
It's one of the best moments in the game.
I was like, what the hell is that?
All the sages are on the stained glass windows.
Mm-hmm.
Darunia and Saria from Ocarina.
And you're down there, and there's all these enemies that are literally frozen in time. You solve a quick little puzzle, find the Master Sword. As soon as you pull it, all these guys start moving around the castle. So you've got to fight every single one of them. You get out, go back to the fortress to save your sister.
Wind Waker's
and
so
Tetra
good.
and Tetra and the other pirates meet you as you get there, and they take all the girls that have been taken as hostages, while you run up the stairs fighting that giant ass bird, which then you have the encounter with. Beat it, and you continue up the tower to the tippity top to encounter Ganon, who informs you that you have the Master Sword, but at this point it's useless. It doesn't have its magic. Tetra comes in basically to kind of try and save you, but you find out a little secret about her as like Ganon realizes she has part of the Triforce.
Her hand starts glowing.
Yeah, well, I think she just starts glowing because she's got that necklace. It was the necklace at that point.
Yeah.
But then you guys both get saved by Volute,
The big dragon.
the big
That
dragon
dungeon was great.
who comes and just breathes fire all over everybody, and lets you all escape. You go back to the underwater kingdom of Hyrule to get the big reveal that, yes, Tetra is indeed Princess Zelda. You now have to...
Reincarnate?
Yeah, you have to... they want her to stay down there, stay out of Ganon's reach, because, of course, he wants the power of the Triforce to destroy Hyrule completely. Ages ago, they left it up to the gods to try and stop Ganon, and they flooded Hyrule and sealed Ganon's power away. But now, of course, he's back.
That was worth it. The scorched earth policy really worked out there.
Well, they flooded Hyrule, but they had all the people ascend to the tops of the mountains, and that was now everybody's ancestors of this time. So
the Rudo,
which are now
Rudo
all of these
there.
little islands. Yeah, all these little islands that you've just been traveling on.
Not the Rudo, the Zoras. What are the Zoras called? They're the flying people.
You mean no, the Rito. The Rito.
Yeah.
Zoras are the fish people.
And yet they're both in Breath of the Wild. And the Kokiri evolved into the Koroks. They turned into more leaves.
Yeah.
That was a fun level too with them and him with his little.
Oh yeah, finding the Deku tree and then sneaking into the Forbidden Forest and all that. Yeah, that was a good dungeon.
That was
too.
fun.
Come on, gentlemen, keep talking about my favorite Zelda game.
Cesar's like, pour it on. Pour it on.
So now I've ascended back to the surface because
we don't need you to.
Don't need that, Siri. But now I'm back at the surface. I'm trying to get the power back to the Master Sword, and it has something to do with the sages. So now I've got a couple places to sail to. I sailed to one island, but there's like this statue, and it's just constantly blowing wind. And there's one of those fish jumping out of the water out there. I fed him some bait, and he
small
told
fry.
me that, yeah. He painted my sea chart, and he told me, hey, there's, if you go exactly 5 squares down, and it was 1 square east, there's this you can find over here, and it has an item that'll make you as heavy as a stone. So that's how you get around that particular obstacle right there at that island. But right before the podcast, I was like, man, sailing takes a while to get from one end of this map to the other. So thankfully in this HD section this HD game, there is a swift sail. They added a swift sail.
I never got this. I never got this in my gameplay. I heard about the auction house. I think that's what you were playing.
So you have to go into the auction house. It only takes place at night. I had to go in and out of this place like 5 times because you have to see what they have for auction every time you go in. And sometimes it's a sea chart. Sometimes it's a joy pendant. Sometimes it's a heart piece. But eventually they'll have the swift sail up there. And so you've got to try and outbid all these people. But the swift sail, of course, as the name implies, helps you sail faster, and apparently you'll get a speed boost, and you can travel in whatever direction, regardless of what direction the wind is blowing. So,
you don't have to change it. You just get out there and go.
I guess so.
Oh wow,
that's what it sounds like. So, I just got that, so I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but I definitely wanted to do that so I can proceed. As soon as I got on Windfall Island to get that, the mailbox was hopping, and I had a COD letter from Tingle. And no, I had to pay to get the freaking letter. But in there, it had the chart because, I forgot what it's called. I forgot what the chart was called now. But it's got the pieces of the Triforce. So the Triforce of Courage was held by the Hero of Time, or the Hero of Hyrule. And once he was called away, or whatever, the Triforce split and broke into like 8 pieces, and it scattered around the world.
Shards.
So there's the map that I got from Tingle shows actual places. I think it has 5 plots on the map that just show Triforce pieces, and then there's like 3 other places that have like other charts on them. So I guess I have to go find the charts to then find the other missing pieces. But that's where I'm at.
That's kind of how they added on to the end of that game, I believe. Mm-hmm. You're right where I'm at, Brant. If you're headed to the Earth stage, that's where I'm at.
Looking at the
Richard, trying to pick back up.
Richard. I will.
Richard.
Looking at the guide, the very next place, it says Earth, the Sage of the Earth.
I'm right there.
Temple.
I'm in the entrance of the dungeon. I'm holding her up above my head. That's where I'm at.
So that's, I guess, where I am heading. So I'm right there.
Oh, you've done your dirty work now.
About a week and a half. Yeah, about a week and a half time. I've gotten to where you've gotten twice,
25 years. But now it'll come out on Switch. Now that you've talked about it and played this much.
Oh God. I know. Right before that direct, I saw people like posting their wish lists, and of course, one of the first things I see is a double cover Switch game, and it's Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD for Switch. I'm like, that ain't happening. that's not.
They're not
gonna. The Pikmin 4 cancellation.
Pikmin 4 cancellation. Metroid Prime 4 cancellation. Go straight to 5. Cancel 4, go straight to 5.
Now we're canceling games on the direct. We're taking games away. Stop making directs.
Indirects. There's no way they bundle both of those games, right?
No. No way.
I wouldn't think so either. I don't know why. Or to totally fuck with us, they put Wind Waker on the cart and it includes a download code for Twilight Princess. Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
Nintendo. Yeah, that's a totally
And
Nintendo
they
thing.
put that huge warning on the very, very front of it as well. It covers the whole case.
Yep.
Download.
And then we're scouring over Reddit to see if the Asia version has both on cart. All right.
But that's my
That's it for
games
you,
Where is
player.
it? Are we looking now? Are we looking for it now?
If it's coming.
I think that might be the next big thing. You think Metroid Prime 2 is coming based off the feedback from this one and sales? It went straight to the
hope.
top of the charts on the eShop. I was like, I bet it's still up there now.
Because that
Yeah, it's coming.
that was the one thing is, I know when I saw it and it said remaster, I was like, oh really? That's awesome. And then, based on part of the reports, we were hearing that it's the trilogy HD remastered for Switch, and then it just wound up being the first one. I'm like, where are the other two? So you got to think if they're gearing up for this for release, that maybe sometime during E3 they come out and say, hey, we'd love to show you guys something of 4, but it's still going to take a little bit more time. So in the meantime, since y'all loved Prime 1, here's 2 other games that y'all might want to check out.
That's too convenient, Brant. I think you're being unreasonable.
Yeah, don't be reasonable in this Nintendo Direct review show.
Yes. Yeah, how dare you?
Do it, Doug Bowser. Do
How
it.
dare you put your hopes and dreams on that, and then when people be disappointed when the next comes, like, where's Brant's? I like this game, you like it too. Here's a second one.
And he said we'd get Wind Waker. Where's Wind Waker, Brant?
Yeah.
Then you
Damn it, Brant.
become the face of that. You own it now.
Yeah. Then you're the new Jeff Grubb.
No. Jeff Grubb was right. He's vindicated.
At 2.
At 2.
Oh, is he?
2.
I'm still waiting for the Zelda games he was yet to get unvindicated for.
What was that? Was that Twilight Princess and Wind Waker?
Yeah, the collection that he swore up and down was coming on that last direct.
GameCube was a good-ass console, man. Just think of those 3 games. Just those 3 games alone. And you still had Smash and Rogue Squadron and Wave Race and...
Hey, we were supposed to get... Well, people were talking about a revival
F-Zero.
of a bunch of GameCube games, including F-Zero, so...
We didn't deserve the GameCube.
Maybe that's in the pipeline.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.